Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Super Meat Boy. Here we are. If you notice in the top left corner there, it does say we only have 57% complete of the forest and only 11 of the bandages. The reason for that is because of the Dark World I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes. We'll go over more of those later though after we finish off the Light World episodes. But today we're going to be moving on to the hospital. As you can see, the world that we're sitting on has gotten a little darker and a little crazier. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, so here we are once again. As you can see, another 20 levels with only 17 needed to face the boss. These levels, I'm pretty sure at some point they're going to introduce some new mechanics, but we'll go over those as they come. And also, I mentioned it in the description of the last video, but I was having issues with my controller with the recording program I was using, so I had to switch my program. Hopefully this time we won't run into an issue like that, so while I'll still be terrible at this game, hopefully it'll be a little less terrible. Alright, so let's start with level 1, we got Biohazard. Speaking of Biohazard, it reminds me of Resident Evil, being that that's the Japanese name for the series. I've always been a fan of the Resident Evil series, and just recently they announced the new Resident Evil 6. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait for that to come out. Are any of you guys Resident Evil fans? Or I know there's a bandage in this level. There it is. There's a pretty nifty shortcut here too that'll make it very easy to get through this game, this level rather. However, you have to be really careful because you have to sneak through that little hole while grabbing the bandage and then drop down there, just like that. Alright, we're off to a good start. I'm playing a little bit better. Oh. Alright. Well, so far in this world, we still have the same mechanics as in the last ones. There's simple platforming skills, jump over sod roads and try not to get our face cut off by them. This level introduced the first new mechanic of this world, and is the fans. When you jump over them, they propel meatward upwards, and you have to use them to reach to higher and higher platforms, like that. As you can see, the mechanics of this game get better and better as you go on. There's more and more you have to do as the level progresses. I remembered that there was a bandage down there, so I was just jumping down to grab it. This one's a little tricky to get because you have to make sure that the fan doesn't push you off to the left too far, because then if it does, you're stuck getting pushed into the, I believe, needles that are piling at the bottom of the ground. It's very sanitary. Oh, there we go, we grabbed the bandage. Another thing I never mentioned is that when you do grab a bandage, you have to finish the level or it doesn't register the bandage as you getting it. So, at least after you grab the bandage, you have to make sure you finish the level, or you'll have to grab the bandage all over again. I can't remember exactly what the trick is to getting back here. I don't know if you have to go upwards or if it's based around trying to get back to the left there. For some reason, I'm thinking I have to go back to the left and start over. It's giving me issues. We'll get it one of these times. But anyway, how many of you out there are Final Fantasy fans? I know the Final Fantasy 13-2 just got released. I know 13 wasn't very popular amongst many people, but I rather enjoyed it. I don't know. I haven't picked up 13-2 yet, but I'd like to give it a shot when I get the extra money. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to be cutting out excessive, like how much excessive deaths are excessive, like when it becomes excessive rather than, but especially in the later levels when it'll take me tons and tons of tries to try and get finished with the level. I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to make you watch just me dying over and over and over again. So at that point, you know, would it becomes way too much where an entire video would have been spent on one level. I think think I'm gonna end up starting to cut out things. This level may end up being the first one I have to. I don't know why it's giving me such trouble. I don't remember having that much trouble grabbing it the first time. Obviously, it wasn't the controller issue that was causing problems for me. I can't seem to time it so that when I fall down, I don't get pushed off by anything. Well, we had it there, but I ended up messing up something to jump back up. Right? Obviously, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing, so let's try and figure this out. That was no good. I think I had to do it. I got over there once. I think I just jumped up and then went to the left. I think that's what we're gonna have to do like that in a second. Like this. There we go. We can go back over, get up here, use that, then propel ourselves over here. Looks like we're gonna get it this time. There we go. We do have to play it real quick for the A+ ranking, however, but that'll be real simple to grab. Much easier to do then. Actually grabbing the bandage, as I embarrassed myself there and fail after saying that it was rather easy. I think the best way to do this is to drop down to here and then propel yourself upward with a wall kick. There we go. And just run over here real quick and grab bandage, girl. We got the A+, now we can finally move on. This level, you can just jump up over here, and then you're supposed to... I'm not sure if you can shortcut this one. I think you can. But as you can see, the fan blows faster, or it's hard. The fan blows to the point where you're not able to get past it if you're running right directly against it. So, see, the B-boy just gets stopped, so you have to either use jumps or jump around them in order to make it so. And then you can just jump right up there and grab Bandage Girl. Relatively simple level if you know what you're doing. Alright, so here we are. This is another new addition. We got some enemies here. Not sure of the name of these guys. I'll try to figure it out by the next episode so that I'll know what to call them, but they're little blobs that roam around the level. They follow the borders of the level, so as long as you're fast enough, you shouldn't run into any of them. You should be able to complete the level with ease. However, if you're messing up like I am, then you might have problems. Right over to Bandage Girl, and we're good. Alright, so now we're on level 8, and first color scheme change of the new world. Makes it a little more difficult to see what's going on when the screen looks like this, but it's a rather easy level to introduce you. And there is a warp zone up there. Alright, and here's our second warp zone that's going to unlock a character for us. This is Jill. I'm not familiar with the game she's from, but the way she works, or her special ability, is that you can continuously tap A and she'll fall slower, making jumps like these, which would be absolutely impossible with Meat Boy or even Commander Video. It makes them possible. So, we would just jump up over here, and of course I mess up right at the end. Why not? The rest of these videos have been filled with similar performances, so I can't let my tradition go down that quickly. If I started playing well, you guys would think I'd hired somebody else to play the games for me at this point. There we go, we got Bandage Girl there. And once again, there are no bandages in these warp zones just because you're just playing to unlock the new character who's been introduced to you in them. I like the background art design on this. It's just very old school style. Somehow keep jumping into that spike. Yeah, I tend to make a lot of stupid mistakes in games like these, so you guys will probably end up getting sick of the excessive amounts of deaths. But One good thing though is the controller's working fine so far, so I can't complain about that. I probably just jinxed it now, but alright, here's the third and the final level for this warp zone. You just have to use her flutter or whatever you want to call it to get down, and then jump back up and jump down on this side doing the same thing. You get Bandage Girl waiting you. Alright, and we unlocked Jill. And we're gonna call that an episode for now. And when we return in the next episode, we'll actually finish level 8 of the hospital, where hopefully my skills start to improve more and more as we're going on. Thanks for everybody for watching, and see you next time.